Have you ever been in a meeting that you had a great idea but decided not to talk about it? Or else you wanted to speak but you thought maybe later or some other time. This is not the right forum. If you're a migrant, this feeling is very common because that's how we grew up, that's how we have been molded. This video is not about you becoming loud and aggressive. This video is more about how you understand the UK work culture and how you will position yourself in that work culture. Remember, confidence is often cultural. If you're a migrant from Africa, Middle East, or an Asian country, respect is shown by listening, seniors speak first, and speaking less is valued. In UK workplace, confidence shows in differently. UK work cultures reward expression, not just thinking. In the UK, ideas only exist if you share it with your manager and your team members. You can be very capable, but if you don't speak, your team members and your manager might think you are not capable enough, you don't have any innovative ideas. We talked about this previously as well. As I said many times in my previous videos, this is not about intelligence, this is more about being visible. Also, remember, language always adds an extra layer. So, for most of the migrants, language or the communication skills can be a barrier. For us, we need to process everything before we speak. So, for most of us, we think in our own language and then convert it to English. So, there can be mistakes because of this conversion, or else there can be, you might be perceived as rude to them. But that's not the reality. Thinking, translating, and expression at the same time is really exhausting. This can reduce confidence even for some very skillful people. We've seen this among doctors, nurses, engineers, and many more professionals in the UK who migrated from other countries who are speaking English as their second language. It doesn't mean that you are not capable enough, you don't understand that part, or else you are feared for these questions or the things that you want to process in there. Because of this, you might be struggling to communicate, or else you might be start stammering, or else you might be feel unease, or you couldn't explain everything that you wanted to explain. This might be impacting on your confidence, even for very skillful people. Silence is often about processing, not fear. Take your time, take a deep breath, and start communicating. This will give little time for you to process and adjust your thought process. And remember, fear of being judged is real. For me as well, when I started doing this series in English, I felt really bad about it because I'm not very confident on my communication skills. And I thought that people start judging my communication skills, the way I'm communicating, the way I pronounce certain words and everything. But then again, I thought, what the hell? It's the right time to start. If I keep worrying about it, I won't be able to share my thoughts with others. So I decided to go ahead and start. Here I am. Many migrants worried about accent, grammar, or saying wrong things. This fear is understandable. For an example, the way we pronounce certain words is completely different than the way someone or the native speaker pronouncing that. At the same time, the words what we are using for certain situations are completely different than the native English speaker using in such situations. This fear is understandable. Because of that, we tend to filter our communications and we tend to speak less. Over the period of time, this affects your confidence. And the other thing is, as I said in my previous videos as well, in the UK culture, we tend to misunderstand the difference between confidence and the competence. It just because if you are not communicating and if you are not portrait yourself with a confident manner, people tend to think you are not competent enough to do the job. People who speaks more often considered as more competent. As I said in my previous videos as well, I know some migrants who are not capable than the others, but they are good communicators. Because of that, they survived in their job and they were able to achieve their career targets sooner than the others. And the other thing is, microsignals matters more than big movements. Let's talk about what does it mean by microsignals. Confidence is always not about big speeches. It's more about small signals. For an example, asking the right question, sharing a short opinion, and clarifying a point can be the simplest way to communicate well, and show your confidence, and you understood the point. And the other thing is, these movements build presence. Confidence grows with safety. What does it mean by that? The easiest thing is when you feel safe, you feel more confident. Migrants often feel they've been watched and evaluated silently. This reduces psychological safety. Confidence cannot grow under the constant fear. And the other important point is confidence doesn't mean changing who you are. Confidence in the UK is not becoming completely different person than who you are. It's more about communicate well and communicate where it necessary. The other important point is learning how the confidence portrayed in different context. Adaptation is not loss of identity. If confidence feels hard at work, it doesn't mean you are not capable. My last message to you all is if you feel confidence is really hard at work, it does not mean you are weak. It means you are navigating the system. Uh, you are learning a new language, you are learning new work cultures, and you are adapting little by little. I'm sharing this from my experience as a HR professional and a migrant worker, and I believe sharing these information might help you to progress in your career. If you think these videos are really important to you, please like and share our videos with your friends and your colleagues. These are the patterns I've seen again and again. If this is familiar to you, you are not alone. I've been there, and I know many of other migrants been there as well. I'll keep break down workplace topics simple and honest way, and I believe this video series will help you to progress in your career in the UK. As a migrant worker, I face these situations, and I know many other migrants have gone through the same process. So knowing these things might help you to speed up the process and speed up the settling down period. Follow us if you want to know more about UK workplace culture and how to adapt to that. And I'm keep uploading videos on every week. Thank you.